I feel like I just don't even want to go into LinkedIn. I've just been having this, like, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, where I'm like, I don't want to read anybody's stuff. I don't want to comment on anything right now. I don't feel like talking about my store. I'm just in this weird place where I'm like, none of that is lighting me up. Or part of me is like, just be consistent, just do the stuff. And then the other part of me is like, no.
Yeah, I definitely understand this kind of like, fuck this, like, I don't want to do this shit. Like, I'm out of this. Like, I have that like all the time, you know? The thing I've tried to like, I've changed to is like versus like gritting up, you know?
Yeah.
There was a moment like a month ago, I was in Bali. I was filming with Diego and it was right after running 2 back-to-back experiences. I was zonked. And then I had to film 6 YouTube videos and I was like, my brain, like you're sweating during the video and you're exhausted. And it was a similar thing. I was talking to a buddy of mine about who was like, he's running like a private equity firm and he needs to raise more money. And you can tell he's just like, oh my God, like just as like,
Yeah.
and also just in a way, like questioning his life, you know, and you're like, dude, you should just reflect for a bit or even use ChatGPT to be like, how could you make this fun? Like how could this be the highlight of your year? Like imagine there's a world like, you know, you're gonna have to raise money every year for the next decade. Like you have to find a way. Do you have an investment like person that helps you? Do you have like an assistant that like follows you around and makes this easier? Like, you know, you can afford to staff up more. Like the Johnny that was raising capital 2 years ago shouldn't be the same crew that's now raising it. Like you should staff up. Mm-hmm. And I was with another guy in this meeting with this guy that everyone would know. And the first thing he says to me, he's like, dude, do you ever just feel like fucking quitting? So like what I'm thinking is like, yeah, like I either like run a business at an 82% margin and like just keep it more chill, or I scale it up and sacrifice to a 72% margin. And like we try to really scale it. I'm like, bro, there's like there's a fucking 1,000 options between that option and that option, you know, like one of my superpowers, and I'll share with like how I think through it, right? It's like I'm always trying to thread the needle, meaning like I'm always trying to find these like weird little maneuvers that would like achieve like exactly what I want, you know? Mm-hmm. So as an example, like what I would want in your scenario is like, okay, I want a writer who writes all my shit and I want to be free. I don't want to pay, and I want them on my team and I want them to like be fun to work with. Mm-hmm. It's like, I would go as an example to the company that you're working with and being like, hey, no one's managing our LinkedIn or all these other things. I have a friend that could do this. It's 4K. I'll manage them for the company and we'll post on the company account 3 times a week. It'll cost like 5K. So now you make almost like an agency fee from giving this to the company you're working for. Let's just say of like 2K, but they're just doing like 2-3 posts a week. So it's a joke. And then they're also doing all your content for that.
Yeah.
I don't know, like that kind of thing. That's like what I would do. Like just things like that, you know, where it's like, okay, I just got a free writer now. That kinds of thinking where you're like, okay, like how do we say there's a win-win-win? Like the writer wins because they've got full-time work and are making good money. You win because none of it's on your plate anymore. Your company even wins because they're like, whoa, thanks for helping our social account, you know? And everyone's just winning. Yeah. And it's all off your plate. And now you're like, okay, comfortably at that next step. The next step does not need to be, it also doesn't need to be as an example, like, okay, well, I guess I'll delegate and go 4K in the hole. It's like, right. Well, no, it doesn't necessarily need to be that either. Like you can delegate and go 2K up. What would that look like? Every time in those things, I try to more default to like, how could I make this more fun? Or how could I build some leverage around me and some help around me? And when I see other people sometimes around me quit, I'm just like, same sort of thing. I'm just like, why did you, like you were making, I saw, you know, a guy I know 5 months ago, he quit. He was running like a, say, $3 million a year thing, $2.5 million of profit, and he quit. And I was just like, okay, like interesting. Like you could have just run that at like a $1.7 million thing and just like literally brought on like an insane COO and insane this, that, remove yourself from a bunch of it. Like just let it purr along. Like, and when it comes to business stuff, like some of the, you know, successful people, like, you know, Warren Buffett, like the guy, 98% of his days just sitting on his hands, reading shit, right. You know, and just super fucking patient, you know, just knowing like, this is what I'm looking for kind of, this is, I'll know when it comes. I'm kind of looking for like, you know, in your case, like I'm looking for like something that feels really altruistic and is really good for my soul. And I'm serving people and it's, you know, profit, impact, fun are all like perfectly aligned. And I'll know it when I feel it kind of vibe. And until I feel that, I'm just going to cruise, you know, I'm just cruising, you know, and I'm just going to wait until that like strikes. And then when it does, I'll know and I'll spear it.